One concept that I'd encourage you to get familiar with is participatory budgeting. Participatory budgeting is the concept that says it's a build on democracy. It says instead of just electing somebody every 4 or 5 years and then sitting back while they destroy your country, why don't you give the citizens granular power over how the budget is spent that pertains to them? Maybe it's within a particular neighborhood, maybe it's just within one vertical of the town, maybe you're helping them spend the educational budget. So here's an experiment from not that far away. The Open Development Technology Alliance ran a 4-year pilot program in South Kivu, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo's a hard country to govern. South Kivu's a hard part of Congo to govern. They did not choose an easy place to run this experiment. And they were running it on those types of phones, Nokia 1100s. Awesome phones, but like simple, right? And so they ran this program, they ran it for 4 years, and in the space of that time, the citizens that participated, they chose to build 54 different classrooms, they fixed their sewage infrastructure, they built roads, they built health clinics. That's kind of predictable. The citizens want to move around and be healthy and have smart kids. What they didn't expect, and which still blows my mind, is they saw a 16-fold increase in tax payments in South Kivu by the end of this initiative. There's a ton of informal economy going on there, right? And you've got the ability to kind of self-report, and sure, some people might be persecuted and have to pay more than they should, but if there's a 16x improvement in tax collection, it means that people are buying into the idea of government again. Well, why are they buying into the idea of government again? Because you made it of and for them. It's actually democratic. They're spending the money. This is another place where you're like, if your government's like, oh, that's too hard, you can't handle that. Rubbish. Old story. Rubbish. Run experiments like this. Another build on that, Democracy Earth are trying to take participatory budgeting onto the blockchain. But what I want to tell you about Democracy Earth is that they're advancing another type of experiment that you can run either in a company or in a city called delegative democracy. In delegative democracy, they say the idea of representative democracy is obviously broken. Look at my president, look at leaders all around the world. You elect them, they say one thing, they get into office, they do another thing, and like the process to try to correct them once they have power is terrible. People laugh at the idea of even successfully impeaching anyone. It never happens, like it's too hard. What if instead of selecting one person to make all the decisions, you're allowed to delegate people issue by issue, and you're allowed in real time to retract your delegation from them if they betray you. So I could say, all right, this lady, Stephanie, she represents me on environmental policy. She's a professor at the university, she writes great blogs, I trust her to vote on environmental policy, I don't even want to read about it anymore. And then I see a headline like, Stephanie paid by Shell Oil to like destroy coral reef. The very next day I'm like, whoop, she no longer has my vote. And the headline the next day is Stephanie is totally out of political power. So there are systems that are being set up, software systems that are being set up to enable you to automate and democratize the way that you spread power around granular decisions. When you do this, you often have the indigenous people or previously marginalized communities in committee, in governance, over these decisions, thinking multi-generationally. It's exactly what we need to do to pull back from the brink of destroying the planet and the economies on top of it.